Hey, Tali Berman here, and you might have seen that I actually did a two-part series on what I called reframing the Stim, a totally new perspective and a different approach to how you can really help your child with his Stim. So if you haven't seen part one, you could check it out here. If you haven't seen part two, you could check it here, reframing the Stim part two. Now, I was going to do just a two-part series, but I'm going to do a three-part series, and that's today. And that's based on some of the conversation, questions, and comments I got from the first two videos. Because really what I talk about in reframing the Stim part one and even part two is a lot about that your child's Stim is a tool that he has created to help himself feel calm and order when he is overstimulated, when his sensory system or even on an emotional level is feeling overstimulated. Now, I had a mom write into me and say, well, my child goes to school and is outside in the playground and stims significantly less there than when he comes home. What's that about? How can I make sense of that? And that's a really good question, and it's what really inspired me to do this third part here on reframing the Stim. And that is this. Yes, the Stim can very well be to help your child calm an overstimulated, overwhelmed system. But that's just one aspect of it. The truth is, the Stim is an incredible coping mechanism your child has created to regulate himself in many different ways, both when he might be overstimulated, but also when he might be understimulated. So some kids that are, and adults on the autism spectrum have hyposensitivity or hypersensitivity. And those that don't feel things as easily or that don't feel their bodies in space as easily seek that kind of activation, seek that kind of stimulation to activate their brains, activate their system, recognize and feel where is my body and where is my body in space. Things that we all do in a maybe more organized or easily accessible way. And so a Stim might be a way to activate rocking, flapping, spinning, moving, jumping, hopping, talking. Could all be ways that your child is trying to activate and wake up his sensory system. So it's regulation either way, which might be why when he is at the playground or when he's at school or in a more stimulating environment, he might not feel the same need to Stim. But when there's not the same kind of stimulation happening, he might feel the need to Stim more. So if your child might be stimming as a way to activate, as a way to create stimulation, the word Stim, then I want to give you 3 ways to help provide that for your child. Because again, we're talking about reducing your child's need to Stim, right? So that the natural result might be your child's not stimming as much. So here's some quick 3 ways that you can do that. Number 1, a stimulating environment. So kind of the opposite of what I said before, but again, every child is different. So it might be a school setting. It might be a playground setting. Going outside, going on outings can be very stimulating and exciting for your child, and there are some kids who Stim less. So that's one way. The second way is by providing more stimulating learning content. So this could be reading to your child, teaching to your child, things that you might think he might not be capable of learning, but we are hearing and learning more and more about how much your child and many people with autism have the capacity to learn and understand. So taking books, magazine articles that are actually age appropriate for your child and reading to him. It might be about astronomy, it might be about geography, but providing stimulating information for your child's mind. And the third way is to provide stimulation at a sensory level. That might be offering things that your child can climb on, big jumping trampolines, swings that they can swing on and spin on, activities like swimming or running that provide a real ongoing input that helps activate your child's system. So the question is really looking at your child, when does he seem to need to Stim more? When he's in a very highly stimulating environment, or when he's in not so much of a stimulating environment. And that will help you begin to understand what your child's Stim means. What is it helping your child take care of exactly? To calm down, shut down an overstimulated system, or shut down the stimulus outside, or activate and really bring to life and awaken your child's sensory system. And once you can assess that based on when and where your child has a heightened moments of stimming, can help you provide the necessary and supportive environment for your child. So I just wanted to make sure that that point was given across as well, that the Stim is to help your child regulate on either end of that spectrum. And one last thought here is that it's your child's way of expressing himself. So we want to help really support and create an environment that's going to best help your child. And from that point on, really see this is your child expressing his joy, his anxiety, his stress, and to really take that as the communication that it's intended to be. So just wanted to add that last piece. I would love to hear your questions and comments below. So please scroll on down. Tell me what you're taking from this video. Thumbs up, thumbs down. And if you're watching this anywhere other than my blog, please hop over to www.taliberman.com. I'd love to hear from you.